Welcome back to Sip, Spill, and Sob. I'm Jeannie.
And I'm Kiki. And once again, we are here with one bottle, two girlfriends, and zero qualifications.
Yes, and tonight's episode takes us from a hot pepperoni pizza to the heartbreaking case of a missing child.
So pour a glass, get comfortable, and let's get into it.
And tonight we are sipping our Twisted Thicket from Adams County Winery. And it's bold, it's a little quirky, and it's absolutely perfect for the twisted lineup of our story.
This is true. This wine, it is fruity. It has a dark finish, kind of like us. It starts off fun and ends up with you wondering what just happened, right? Cheers to that. Jeannie, why don't you read a description of the actual wine?
The actual wine, again, it's Twisted Thicket from right here in Gettysburg, PA, Adams County Winery. And it is a lively, sweet fruit wine crafted from a delicious blend of Concord and blackberry grapes. And it's a juicy, ripe fruit. It's a sweet wine. So how do you feel about it, Kiki?
All right. So let me just say this.
Yes.
So back in my early wine tasting era, which would have been my late 30s, because of how I was raised, we can talk about that later. I would have started with a sweet wine like this.
Okay.
Right. But since then, I want to say my palate has evolved.
Yes.
But now I personally prefer a dry wine. However, this is a lovely sweet wine, you know, and I can see it so much like in a slushy or a sangria or something like that. So it's definitely a dessert wine.
Yes.
What do you think?
And you know, I like the sweet wines, but this is sweet. I think you hit it on the nail. Slushy, especially with summer coming up.
Yeah.
There's nothing good like a wine slushy and as like almost a dessert or something.
Yes.
I can definitely see that. Very good. Adams County Winery is popular in the area.
It's a lovely winery.
Yes. So they have multiple wines, which we'll get into for other episodes. But definitely I would say this is more the dessert type of wine.
Like a sweet wine. It's to be served chilled.
Yes.
Which I like a warm wine. Yeah. But yeah. And the taste to me, so it tastes to me like communion wine. Now, let me just say it. I was raised in like a fundamentalist church. We did not have wine because Jesus didn't really turn the water into wine. He turned it into grape juice.
Okay.
Did you not know that?
I did not know that.
He turned it into grape juice. The bad wine was a fermented wine.
I did not.
No, yes.
Okay.
So, but it tastes like if our communion wine had been fermented, it's very grapey. Like it's very Concord grapey.
This you can taste the grapes. Yeah. I thought it was blackberry, but I'm actually changing. Even though they say it's made with black, I can definitely taste the grape.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a grapey wine.
Yes.
So anyway, that's our take on that wine.
Yes.
Even though it is sweet, we will continue to drink it throughout the episode.
Oh, of course. Don't let a good bottle go to waste.
No, my palate can adjust. I have an adjustable palate. Okay, so let's go into wine, and what the heck.
Oh my gosh.
So this week, first up, is we are looking at it's called the Pizza Panic Burglar, right? And so this one is interesting.
Where did this happen at?
This happened in Arkansas.
Okay,
so you can kind of understand it.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. So in 2019, all right, so a man in Arkansas, he robbed a Little Caesars at knife point, not gunpoint, knife point.
Yeah.
But not for the money. No, he was just really, really wanted a pizza.
Yeah.
Cracks me up. So he demanded a pepperoni pie, threatened the cashier, and then waited patiently for it to finish baking.
Okay. I can, so much of this is just dumb.
Right.
I mean, first of all, I think sometimes if you go in and beg someone, can I have a pizza? Probably.
Right. Because doesn't Little Caesars have that like $5 pie deal?
Yes.
Right. And if I was standing there and somebody came in, was begging for a pie, I would be like, here's $5. Get a pie.
Yeah. But then now it's considered armed robbery.
Right. Yes.
But then also to sit and wait for your I guess he wanted it fresh.
Yes, hot and now, right? So police found him sitting outside, right, eating the piece of the pizza and rested him mid-slice.
Oh, yeah.
Right? When asked why he did it, he simply said, "I was hangry."
Well,
like that explains it.
Well, I have my oldest son. When he is hangry, you watch out.
There was never ever a word. We grew up hangry. Come on.
No.
I don't know. But you don't know. It's silliness. Now, have you ever been caught? I've been caught having ordered something through a fast food drive-in, getting to the window and realizing I don't have my wallet. Have you ever done that?
No, I almost did it today, though, that you speak about it. And no, but I have done it where I don't have enough money. Now, that's in my younger days. I'm scrounging for change at the bottom.
Yes.
So yes. But that's what I'm saying is I think I even got to the line, like, gone through the drive-thru and said, "I am so sorry." Because this was before they even accepted ATM or they accepted cards.
Right. So you needed cash.
Yeah. And I was like, "I'm so sorry." And they usually would say, "Okay,"
Or else I'd be like, "What do you want to take away?"
Yeah.
It's a burger and fries. Do I want to take away the burger or the fries? Now I'm in a conundrum. Meanwhile, I'm sitting blocking the drive-through because I can't, and I'm digging even like in my cup holder. Hey, please, Jesus, let there be a quarter in here. Yeah. So I mean, I kind of get, but knife point,
knife point's a little drastic.
It's a little drastic, but
it's a little drastic. But hey, he had a warm place, I guess. He went to jail and he had a warm belly.
Do they serve pizza in jail?
He finished his pizza, didn't he? I wonder if
I think they cuffed him mid-slice, and they never did say whether he actually was able to finish his slice. Hangry. Have you ever been hungry and angry at the same time?
Oh, yes.
I don't get like that.
Very rarely. I think, honestly, I know people, it's only our second episode. I'm not throwing men under the bus, but I think men get hangry
a
lot more.
I think it's like a blood sugar dip or something.
Oh, yeah. I think that's it. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten hangry before, but I've admitted it. Like, I'm getting hangry, and then I go.
My husband, if I look back on it, like when he's hungry, he's hungry. Like he can't think of anything else other than getting food in his mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I guess it's a thing. I'm fine. Like rarely do I get to that point, but I'm not discounting that other people do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I would not pull out a knife.
No.
And if I was going to pull out a knife, it's going to be like at a gourmet place. It is not going to be a Little Caesars. I'm not going down for a $5 pizza pie.
I'm saying steak and lobster all the way.
I would like surf and turf, please. And then I'll wait.
Drinks with it.
They'll be like, "Would you like to pick your lobster?
Can I have a 3-pound lobster?" I don't even.
Like, I'll wait while you do that. And meanwhile, they're back and I'm calling 911.
I mean, plus Little Caesar. I mean,
pizza.
Yeah, pizza, $5 pizza.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Maybe sometime we'll feature a criminal that's a woman. All the ones we're researching are men.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that's the dumb criminal. But now we're going to go into what we call uncorked mysteries.
Yeah.
Which we're going to talk about a mystery that is 25 years old, actually. And it is, I think this is so interesting. And we're going to do two segments. So it'll be this podcast is segment 1. Mm-hmm. And then the next podcast we drop will be segment 2, because it is such an interesting case and such a twisted case in a sense.
Yes.
And it is such an ongoing case.
And we want help with this.
Yes. There's like a $75,000 reward now.
Yeah.
For this 25 years later.
Yes. And
but
I'm going to interrupt now because this hit both of us because it's a child. It's a missing child. And then also, as you know, and a lot of people know, I grew up, I was raised, I spent most of my adult life, and I still consider it home, the Washington metropolitan area.
Oh, that's crazy.
And
I didn't know anybody who's been raised in DC.
Yeah. Well, we were the outskirts, which is Maryland, but it's all considered the DMV area, which is District, Maryland, and Virginia. But so if you ever hear me say DMV, but
that's what you mean. Okay.
Yes. And everyone from the area probably knows the case I'm going to say, because the cliche that it paralyzes a city, that it takes your innocence away. 1975, and you all know there were two, the listeners out there, two little sisters, the Lyon sisters, and they were at Wheaton Plaza.
Okay.
They went missing. You didn't know where they were. 75, and I'm pretty sure that's the date. Anyway, it went on. It was ongoing. And it really took the innocence of our parents. I was little, but no longer could our parents drop us off at Farrell's Ice Cream, which was a big, or the movie theater at Wheaton Plaza. It was just because everyone was concerned.
Right. And you hear about that, like nowadays.
Yes.
We don't rate, our kids are not allowed to do what we were able to do.
Yes.
I know what I was able to do, but now it sounds like as a young girl, weren't able to.
No. Now, that you did get over it because my parents, they did. You became eventually. But why I'm telling this story is in 2017, it was solved.
Wow.
So they actually apprehended, or it wasn't, the person was in jail who had actually did it. It was also led to Virginia. Anyway, hats off to the Glenmont Police Station, the Montgomery County, Maryland Police Station, and the FBI, and the community that I want to give a big shout out, because after 40 some years, this case was solved and it did bring closure.
Well, what happened to them?
They unfortunately were kidnapped by some horrible people.
Yeah.
And they were taken to a farm actually in Virginia.
Okay.
And I'm not sure when they were killed.
But they were deceased.
They were deceased, yes. But again, heartbreaking. Yeah. You think about the families, you think about the communities, you think
and this is two sisters.
It was two
the parents
sisters.
Both two children.
Yes. And it just, like I said, anyone, I would say from the ages of 40 even to like our parents' age. My mom still remembers, the Lyon sisters.
Yeah.
You know that name.
Right.
And it was that big of a case in our area. So but again,
there's hope. There's hope.
And is it the hope the parents wanted? Probably not, but you get closure. This broke our hearts, this case. But I mean, this case here broke yours and mine. We were talking about it.
So we're talking about the case of Asha. I always want to say her Degree. I have a brain fart about her last name. I always say, so Asha Degree. Oh, for those of you not familiar with it, because I wasn't familiar with it, this case. So this happened actually
2000.
It was in 2000, and it was in Shelby, North Carolina. Yeah. And so this little girl was 9 years old. Aisha was 9 years old. And when I think about it and I compare, like my daughter was born in 91, so she would have been 9 years old.
Exactly.
So
same age.
Same exact age. So she walked out of her family home in the middle of the night.
Which is odd. Yeah. That brings questions.
Right. There was a storm. And that's the other thing too, is like it was storming and their power had gone out. But their power actually had gone out, not because of the storm, but because of the storm, a car had hit a telephone pole, and their power was out.
And she shared a room. Don't mean to interrupt. She shared a room with her brother.
Right. So they were. It was must have been a small apartment.
Yeah.
For the two kids to have shared a room. But so she there was a storm. She had packed a backpack. And then she was seen walking along Highway 18 in the rain, and then nothing. It just vanished.
Okay, this was 2000, isn't that?
Yeah, 2000.
She did not have a cell phone, so she did not take, nor would she have.
Right.
I think in her backpack, she had a book.
She did not have the book.
Okay.
That was later. She had packed, what had she packed? Candy.
That was it.
I think it might have been a change of clothes or something like that.
Yes.
But just think about yourself like at 9 years old. When I think about me being 9 years old, I had no thought. I would have been like, I'll take some candy.
Candy's typical.
Whatever. But this was not something where, she was a little girl. So she was just throwing stuff in a backpack. And and the thing that I question is why.
Why?
Which everybody has. But like, she's 9 years old. She gets up at 3:30 in the morning, something like that, leaves her house. She takes her house key she had and she locks the door behind her.
Yeah.
So it does not look like she was like somebody came and got her.
No.
Or took her.
No. And they said actually that night, very normal. She had, and her brother had played a basketball game at the school.
Right. They were very well-adjusted children.
Yes.
Oh. They were a little bit sheltered.
Yeah, but
because their parents were religious.
Right.
And basically, I think that I wasn't going to say about that with basketball. It was basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they had played basketball.
But she was fouled out. So they actually, which I do not think is accurate. They actually thought she had left because she was mad and she had gotten fouled out. I know. I'm not.
Kids aren't that deep.
Not 9.
No. Like as an adult, we think maybe I would be upset and blah blah blah. But she's 9 years old. I'm sure she was disappointed.
She was disappointed, but I don't think enough to. And also, it was still raining.
Yeah,
it was
dark, and she was afraid of the dark.
Yeah.
Let me say this too. In our research on this case,
yes,
we have listened to several podcasts and read lots of articles, and it seems like the facts in this case are a little bit blurry.
Yeah,
which I don't know. I think that's the hard part. But I think the basic, from what I've understood from the reading things, comparing that the basic concepts are correct. That she left. She had on sneakers, like jeans, and a t-shirt. But she was not wearing a coat.
No.
What would cause a child to get up in the middle of the night and
in the dark,
because she's afraid of the dark, it's storming, and go out, in my mind. Now, I don't want to cast any disparaging thoughts on the family. However, and I know this has been, people have criticized this for years, but what's going on in the home?
It does make you think that, it does, even though her brother has come forth and said, it was fine. There was nothing that he was aware of that went on in the house.
But she's a little girl.
You're right. Yeah.
She's a boy. And I know that they've cast disparaging things on the dad because he checked on the kids at it was a weird hour. This was right before Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So it was he checked on them at I want to say 2:30 in the morning or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why is he up? And I'm sure there's probably a reason.
Well, in one of the podcasts, I thought I did read or hear that it was because he worked. He worked second shift or something.
Or second
job. So he had just gotten home from work.
All right.
And so that's exactly. So then I was like, okay, I can see that's how come someone could kind of pinpoint. And then the brother said he remembers, again, a lot of different, but this is one episode I was watching that the brother heard her get up, go to the bathroom, and then come back to bed.
Right.
And then he did not hear her leave, around 3:00.
Right. Okay, so let's say. So she gets up, she leaves. The next time she's spotted is a trucker. I believe it's a trucker.
Yeah.
She's walking down Route 18. What I understand, that is not a road you want to walk down. It doesn't have a sidewalk or anything like that. It's just like a berm.
Yeah.
You're walking the berm. Yeah. And they said that the way she was going was as if she would be going to her school.
Yeah.
She knew that route. And so this trucker saw her. Obviously, you'd be like, that's weird, and turn around and see if he could help her in any way.
Right.
Well, evidently she saw the trucker and she ran off into the woods. So the woods in that situation where it wasn't woods. It was you would have some trees and stuff like that in this off the side of the road. I don't think it was actually
heavy duty.
She didn't run into the forest.
Right. Yeah.
Anything like that. And then that's the last anybody ever saw her.
Yes. Then they did, but didn't they find in a shed her?
Yes.
How long ago was that?
So it was, let's see, that was February 14th is when she ran away.
Right.
And then I believe the 15th, even though they didn't come to the police about it until I think the 17th, there was a shed that people had a shed in their backyard, and they found it was a hair bow, like a Mickey Mouse hair bow.
That was definitely hers, wasn't it?
Yep. Candy wrappers, which that was hers from her Valentine's candy.
Yes.
And I think it was a pencil and a green marker or something like that. Yeah. So they knew that somebody had been in the shed. And obviously she probably took shelter. She found the shed.
That's what I was thinking.
She took shelter. Poor little thing. She's probably lost
very easily. It's pitch black.
Yeah. And she has no idea. When you ride in the school bus.
Yeah.
Right. You think you might know the way to go.
Right.
But when you're actually walking, So I think when that trucker saw her, she was a mile down the road already.
Yeah. And again, night, and you're talking about an area, Shelby, North Carolina's a small town where you don't have street lights. So for a 9-year-old, I think as an adult, I could easily get turned around or because you're talking pitch black, and there wasn't many stars or moon because it was a storm.
Right.
It was raining that night.
Yes. So it just makes me so sad because I'm just what possessed her? That, and I will never know that. Like, there's no way we'll ever know that. I don't think. They were very, very active in their church.
Yes.
Very active in their church. And I think Sundays, which would have been the day before she went missing, was a Sunday. I think it's that kind of situation where they spent almost like all day at church. Yes. You know, like you go to church, you have a meal. No, I think that she actually went to her aunt's for a meal, which is close to the church.
Right. And the family lived close, and that's it too, is they did like the family was very extended. They did a lot with aunts, cousins from.
Right.
Yeah. Because they all lived in the same area.
Right. So I would tend to think if somebody had, because another theory is that she had been groomed or something like that to leave, which, I mean, that would explain it a little bit, because like, why would a 9-year-old girl do that? Now, that brings us to the question. I was going to ask you, have you ever run away did you run away from home? Because so many kids do.
Yeah.
It's like a rite of passage.
Yeah, it is. I must say I did, but I think I got as far as my driveway. And then I came back because I probably got hungry or I was a wuss. I got scared probably. Right. And that was daytime, because I wouldn't have run away at night.
Yeah.
So how about you? Have you?
Oh, we'll see. There's always a Kiki story. So I just remember this so vividly. So when my dad was a pastor in Lancaster County for about 3 years, I want to say. And one winter we had like a really bad blizzard. Like back in the day, we got really bad blizzards. I mean, our only neighbors were Amish.
Oh my God.
And so we had lost our power. We were out kind of in the middle of nowhere. So my Amishman came and got my dad. I'm not sure how. I think my dad must have walked to the Amishman's house.
Okay.
And we went to people from our church put us up. I think it was like for the night. Okay. Well, so their house, to me, I've never experienced anything like that before, was like this like little mini mansion. Like, I loved it. Like, it was cozy. They had a fire in the fireplace. I remember having good food. Their names were the Sullivans.
Oh, yes.
And so I don't remember if it was the same year. My mom could tell us, but we had another blizzard, and I wanted to go there. I wanted to go back to their house.
Yes.
And so I couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 years old. And so I packed my bag. I remember the bag. I remember it so well. I was heading out in the blizzard. So our house was surrounded by fields. Mm-hmm. And so my mom thought they're going to just see how far I'll go, because they're sure I'm going to turn around. Well, I am bullheaded, right? And I was not going to turn around. So I just kept going, and they're like, she's going. She's going to keep going. So my parents actually had to drive
to get you.
To get me. They had to drive to get me, because I was like, I am going to the Sullivans.
Okay. So maybe she was going to some place.
Yeah.
Friend's house. Maybe she was pig-headed too. And
she might have been.
I still 3:00 in the morning.
But that's a whole different story.
Would you have left at 3 in the morning, even to go to this?
No, because I was afraid of the dark, as most 9-year-olds would be. So that makes me think. That's why I think there has to have been something going on in the home, because it's like it sounds like the actions of a desperate child.
To leave in a storm at 9:00. I mean, in a storm at 3:00. Yes,
right. So I don't want to, whatever, but could have been the brother bothering her.
Yeah.
Well, it makes me feel bad, because this family has been through so much. I don't want to cast all these. But that's what it appears. There was something that made this little girl want to leave home, because that's not normal. Let's be honest, that's not normal.
No, not in the
no. So there's that. So, okay, so that was the last time she was seen. That trucker saw her.
Yes,
and then she was seen no more. She went to that shed, so they knew that she was there.
Yeah.
And then just like kind of like poof. The mother goes to check on the kids. I think it was 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
it was Aquila
to get them up
for school.
Yep.
And she goes, can you even imagine? She goes into her, waking your kids up is just like a normal day, and your 9-year-old is missing. I can't even.
I think it's probably one of the worst things that could happen to a parent.
Yes. My gosh. And I think that the father called 911, and I think that the police were on the scene within like 10 or 15 minutes.
Wow, good for them.
So the parents did not wait long.
No.
Because they went to, I think their neighbors across the street were family members. And they said, have you seen Asha? Yeah. They're like, no. And then they immediately called the police.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like there was any hesitancy on their part. And then the police came with search dogs.
Yes.
However, It's raining, it's storming, it's windy. Like,
really didn't turn up anything besides that backpack, which I don't think search dogs, I think actually a farmer, whoever lived in that house, again, a little sketchy, whoever lived in that house that had the shed was the one who turned in the
was not the
fact.
No, girlfriend. Are you drinking too much Twisted Thicket? No, that was a year later.
Was it a
Yes,
year later?
It was a year later.
It was a few weeks.
No. So what happened? So there was the shed thing,
Okay.
right? So they found a couple of her things. They knew that she had been there. A year later, I think it was a little over a year later, like 26 miles away, gentleman was like excavating for some kind of a driveway or something like that. Then, he uncovers this garbage bag. And it's not just a garbage bag. He finally decides to open it. I guess like he saw it, he got it, he plowed it or, whatever, put it aside, kept doing his work, whatever, eventually opened it. So it was double bagged. So there was a bag within a bag.
Okay.
I'd be scared. I'd be scared to be finding like a dead baby or something. That's why.
Yeah, but you can probably feel it.
Yeah.
Be like,
and what it was.
This isn't a dead baby.
No, it was a backpack, and it was Asha's backpack. Her name was on the backpack. And so they had so she vanished. Right in 2000, there was nothing other than that shed, which is a couple of days later,
which had the candy,
and then a year later. Can you imagine even that whole year for those parents?
And nothing.
I would be
nothing,
frantic,
not even
nothing. So then this backpack, 26 miles away, is dug up, which means somebody buried it.
Yes,
right. But inside it, there was I think that what they put out to the press, it was 90% of Asha's things. So that means there's 10% that weren't Asha's things. So by the time they released what was in that backpack, it was a New Kids on the Block t-shirt.
Yeah, which that didn't belong to her.
No, that was not her. And then that's where that book came in.
Yes, the Dr.
Seuss book, which was checked out of the library that she went to school at.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
But they could never find out who checked it out.
No, which is weird. And she wouldn't have stolen it. It sounds like she was like but maybe she borrowed it from a friend. Their parents didn't know that it was in her backpack.
But yeah, that's true.
I don't think that is necessarily a clue.
No.
But the New Kids on the Block t-shirt, which we will find out later, is kind of a clue.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's ongoing. It's just, think about it, from 2000 to today.
Right.
Now, I think they are very, very close.
Yes.
To discovering what happened.
Which is amazing. And it's also, which will give the parents closure. I just can't imagine as a parent, like going through that. Because when I was reading a lot about this case, I was with my daughter, Kelsey, and I was just talking to her, and I said, if something happened to you, I would have gone freaking nuts.
Yeah.
I don't even, and now it's like, it's 22 or however many years later. Well, that had to have been an excruciating period of time. Like, I don't know how mentally you deal with that.
Do you remember any time that your kids disappeared and you did not know even for a few minutes? Or
that would have been more my son.
Okay.
Boys are more like that.
Oh, yes.
We did have cell phones when he was growing up, but not being able to track, to know where he is, because we didn't have those apps like Life 360, which I would have totally done.
No.
We didn't have any of that. So there's times when he didn't text back and we had no idea where he was, and that panic, the panic of, it's insane.
It's totally.
I would wish that on my worst enemy.
No. I remember I was shopping at the mall, and you're right. I was with my daughter, Haley, and my one son, Jackson, and he thought he would hide underneath the clothes.
You hear that so many things.
And he got away with it. But I had the store manager. I had everyone looking and calling. Yes. And then all of a sudden I hear his laughter, and you are so upset that you're so mad, but you're also just so, but also it reminded me too, in our day too, at least my parents, like, we used to go outside, and our parents didn't even, we would leave in the morning and come home possibly for lunch, and then
maybe see you for dinner. And my parents had zero idea where we were.
Yeah.
Zero. I can't imagine that.
No, but I just also, the unknown, I think, is what.
Yeah. One time I I was so mad at my parents. I think I was maybe middle school age or whatever. And I took my bike and I rode it over to my friend Erin's house.
Mm-hmm.
And we lived in like a little city. And it wasn't close, right? I went over to her house and I hung out and all this thing, thinking my parents would be so worried about me, whatever. Zero idea I was even gone. I was gone. And like dummy me, I should have thought, oh, I could do this more often. But I didn't. I think I scared myself, but it's, it's when your kid goes missing, it's excruciating. Even my daughter is in her 30s and I still worry about that. I send her like Instagram reels about how to protect yourself.
Yes.
Because she's beautiful. And I'm afraid I'm always, you have that
as a mother.
As a mother. I don't think that ever goes away.
I don't think it does. And this brings up too, oh my gosh, I don't want people to hate me. But I was always more worried about my daughter than my son.
I was just
okay.
I do. My son is buff, like he is built, and Kelsey is too. Like they both are gym rats. My kids are both gym rats, and they are. And like Joel was like a firefighter. Yeah. He's in tip-top shape, but with a guy, I don't know, because a guy can overpower a girl no matter how strong she is. Yeah, it's just a matter of chloroform, whatever. I mean, it could happen. It could happen to a boy, but I think that girls are more susceptible to being kidnapped and all that.
So I think it's in us to worry more about
the girls,
the daughters. Yeah, I mean, I'm worried about my guys not because
with my son, I worry with boys. I worry about accidents.
There you go. That's a good point. Yeah. Whereas, I remember my daughter for the longest time worked at a department store, Target, and she would get off, especially at Christmas time, very late. And I would be like, text me when you get in your car, and kind of what you do with Kelsey. Yeah. I mean, just, she was living on her own, but I still,
I know. Okay.
Text me.
Do you hear something that's kind of like the tables are turned?
Yeah. No.
So Kelsey.
Yeah.
Had me put Life 360 on my phone because she worries about me in New York City. As she is right to do. She really is smart to do that. But so the tables have turned in the sense that now she worries about me getting into trouble in the city. Yeah. So we kind of keep an eye on each other. But
that's good. But again, it's different with a daughter. So I can't imagine the community of Shelby, North Carolina, the parents, aunts. This affects everyone. Yes. I mean,
yes, especially when there's been no resolution.
Nothing.
And that
very little.
Yes. And here's the thing that I just cannot get over. It's like, I know that, there's, sexual predators and those people out there, but what are the odds that there be some sexual predator out at, like in Shelby, North Carolina at 3:30, 4:30 in the morning and just happen to see this little girl and think, I'm just going to take her. Do you know what I mean? That just is so weird to me. Like that just is like, what are the odds of that happening?
Yeah, but it can.
I know it can, but I just feel like that's just such a random thing that I tend to think, and I don't want to get into the next episode. A teaser. Yes. I think there was an accident. I think something happened that she was either hit by a car, something that somebody got scared.
Yes.
And did not want to come forward. That's where we'll leave it.
Yes. That's a good, because again, this is an ongoing.
Yes.
We have a lot to talk about for the next episode.
Yes. And if you have any information, because we would love to help solve this case. Not that it's just us to help solve this. We want this case to be solved for the family.
Yeah.
So they can have resolution and that type of thing. And if she would happen to be alive, that'd be awesome. That's the best case scenario. Awesome. But you would want to contact, and we'll put a link in our bio if we could figure out that we have a bio and where to put the link, because
we're going to do that for more cases once we get rolling.
It's the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office.
Yes.
And then also, of course, the FBI is involved, because you could, actually contact the FBI.
Yeah.
And they would be able to help you. But I think that's, it's one of those things where it's an active investigation. And I'm really, even though there's been some things that the FBI have done as far as like not releasing information, which we'll talk about later. Till like later.
Yeah.
The fact that they have kind of stayed on top of this.
Yes, they have.
I think is pretty cool.
It is.
And
it is.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think that's going to be the end of it for us today. What do you think, Jean?
I think so. So tune in next week. We'll do a part 2, and hopefully, maybe we may even have a resolution. But if not, we're very close to.
We are.
Well, the Shelby, North Carolina, is very close to bringing resolution to these parents.
Right, so. Really bringing Asha home. So
yes,
thanks so much for listening, and we will talk to you next week. And cheers.